Stand in your power. Welcome to the magic of the dandelion. My name is Selma, and in this video I like to explore with you the benefits of the dandelion from an energetical perspective. I like to share a message directly from the spirit of the dandelion, and at the end I want to show you a very easy way to connect yourself and support yourself with all these benefits of this beautiful plant. Now, these are all my own experiences, and this is my personal way of perceiving the plant. Of course, there are also others. But as you resonate with this and as you clicked on this video, chances are that there's something important for you here when you watch this. So I invite you to just open up and listen with both an open heart and open mind, so that the information that is needed can come to you. And by the way, it's not always necessary to get or understand everything intellectually, because obviously behind the words I'm speaking there's an energy, and this energy is transmitted when you are listening to this and while you are watching this. So okay, then let's start. Before we look at the plant, we can think a quick moment, a short moment of the name of the plant. Because names of plants are often like open doors to the being of the plant and to the benefits and the characteristics. The dandelion obviously refers to the lion and his teeth. So what would be your association when it comes to lion? I guess to most of us it will be something like strength. If there is another association for you and it's not strength, then write it into the comments, because there may be an additive message for you from this plant and I would really love to reply this. Okay, but now let's keep this strength in our head and let's look at the plant. And because I will be talking about that later on, and since I had no complete plant at hand right now, I made okay, the light is, I don't know, not the best. I think I made one myself. And I like to start at the root. This root is called a taproot, which means that it's very strong, and it would even be longer than this one, but the paper was the paper was too short. Normally I would have drawn it bigger, even bigger than this one. I'm not sure how you can see it the best way. Okay, if you ever tried to remove a dandelion from your backyard, then you know that it is a hard thing to do, that it's almost impossible, because this root sticks very strong in the floor, in the ground. And this is a characteristic of the dandelion, because when we look at how and where the dandelion grows, it almost seems to grow everywhere, right? It grows in the garden, it grows in the meadows, it grows even out of cracks on the street. So it has the strength to grow wherever its seed hits the ground, and it builds this strong root. It is grounded in the floor, and this is a basic kind of strength this plant carries with itself. And what I got very clear into my head was the sentence, "Stand in your power." This is for me the basic message, the foundation message of the dandelion. Stand in your power, which starts at the root, which is the base also for us. If we don't stand in our power, we are not able to go further. So I want to stand in your power to the root. This is the first aspect. And the dandelion does stand in his power and grow, even if it is not, I tend to say he, because somehow it feels the dandelion has a male energy to me. Sometimes I say it, sometimes I say he, don't mind. Even if the dandelion is not everybody's darling, obviously, he is standing in his power and he is growing here. This is also something important to mention. So you are allowed to grow even if you're not everybody's darling, right? The second thing, when we look at the plant, we see his leaves. And now we come also to the teeth of the dandelion, because these little parts of the plant here can be seen as his teeth. Now the sun is coming out. I hope she will help us. I try to bring it closer to the camera so that you can see the teeth. Look at the teeth of the dandelion. And you see that the leaves grow in a circle. This is a kind of circle. Now what does that mean? When the dandelion, for example, grows in a meadow and he is still small, his leaves will cover the floor in a circle around him to not allow other plants to grow there, because this is the space that the dandelion needs to grow. So this tells me about boundaries. This tells me that the second message we get from the dandelion is to build healthy boundaries. This is my place. I need this place to grow. And also, the teeth of the dandelion are not really dangerous, but they are here. So this means healthy boundaries. They are not hurting. What was that? Okay. They are not hurting anybody, but they show they are here to show other people, please give me respect. This is my boundary. Build healthy boundary. Second one. Now we come to the blossom. And very obviously, this blossom carries the signature of the sun. Look at how the leaves radiate, and it has this warm, bright yellow color. For example, my son, when he was very small, he always used to say sunflower to the dandelion. Yeah, it seems very obvious that this flower has to do with the sun. And the message here is, I think it's obvious. One message is to really shine your light like the sun. You build your foundation, you build healthy boundaries, and now you are able to shine your light. And this is like, the movement is like that. So you shine your light here. And you radiate this light, and it's your own personal light. And then from the signature of the sun, you transcend to the signature of the moon. Because with his seeds and this fluffy grayish look, we have here the signature of the moon, while the plant is in his seed state. Now, what does that mean? It reminds me of the yin and yang symbol, which I think everybody knows. Now, the sun energy would in this case be seen as the yang energy, and the moon signature would be seen as the yang energy. The yin state from the plant as the more active way of radiating and shining, and the yang aspect of the more receiving, because now I did my work, I receive the seeds, I know for sure that they are coming, so I can also let go. And this is really pictured in this, because my sun aspect is rooted in the moon aspect, and the moon aspect is also rooted in the sun aspect. In my flower are already the seeds, and also in my seeds there's already this flower, and this is a circle, and this is also about balance. So it is something about actively shining your light and then getting the results, which is the time to be a little bit more receiving, and also take it easy. This is another message, because you can really take it easy, because you know that your seeds are taken with the wind and they are spread wherever they are meant to be. Now, this is what we get for today when we look at the signature of the plant. And like I said, I have a direct message, or it's more a picture from the plant itself, because I connected to it and I wanted to see some fairy-like being, because I was very interested in how the dandelion would show itself to me. And I got a picture indeed, but it was not one being, it were two. Of course, it is two sides of one being, but I think they showed up as two to show the importance of both sides, which repeats itself now. Like we had the importance of both sides of the balance and of the cycles right here with the plant. The first being that showed up was a male being, skinny, old, with gray hair, beard, and the second one was very young, very childlike, with an innocent and carefree vibe. And both are very positive. The older aspect was more positive and happy in a settled way, and the childlike one really wild and free and laughing. And this is really interesting because again it repeats these two aspects, and also interestingly this, which would be the flying aspect maybe, which is the part of the plant being carefree and do a new beginning and start a new beginning, is at the same time the aspect of the old and wise one. So it is the same that we see here. It is the seed and the blossom and the blossom and the seed, and it repeats itself. And also when you look closely, it's funny because normally I wanted to take a plant out of my garden, but right now there is no plant available for me in the right stadium. Cannot really see it. I hope you see it from here, that This looks like somehow like an old wise eye, I think. Maybe I have to, okay. It's my first video, so bear with me. Okay. Yeah, and you see that what might seem to be two different parts of one thing are really two sides of the same thing. They are one. They are whole and complete in each other, like the very old and the very young one are. They are one. Now that we learned about the benefits of the dandelion and what he can teach us, of course, we want to support ourselves with all this magical stuff. And there are many ways to do it. You can, for example, make a tincture with alcohol. You put parts of the plant in it, let it sit for some weeks, and you can easily put it here in your arms. What I did was I made a powder, and this was very easy. I only had to dry complete plants. And this one is out of my garden. I dried it and I cut it into small pieces, and then put it into the mortar and made a powder out of it. You see there is not very much left anymore. And me, what I'm doing is I take this 4 times a day, a little bit, put it into my mouth, and yeah, that's it. And this is how I connect to the dandelion. And of course, I only take a plant from a place where I know that it's safe, like I said, out from my garden. And of course, I only do it when I surely know that this is the right plant and I know that I have no allergies or something like that. So this is of course no medical thing here. It is just the way I do it. So, and it works because yeah, it's not of course a coincidence that I connect with the dandelion and that I was drawn to do this video, because I am at a point in my life where I feel like, yeah, I could need a little support from it, to really stand in my power and shine my own light. Maybe I will cover that up in another video. And yeah, I am really happy that you are here, that you made it this far, and I really hope that this was helpful for you. So believe in your magic, and we see us in the next video. Bye.